So we live in a crazy time, right? And so there's all of what people love to say, misinformation. And misinformation is just information that sometimes can be completely false, like an apple is a banana, right? When clearly it's an apple. If we see it's an apple, it tastes like an apple. Everybody else says it's an apple. We're eating it. It's an apple. But somebody says, oh, it's a banana, right? Well, everything we led to believe says it was an apple, right? So misinformation would be something that we would deem to believe or see that it's very real. Like, this would generally be called a sneaker. Basic that. And then there's everything else. So, misinformation on this very, 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 very huge topic, the biggest of our time and the most touchiest of topics. But yet, if you don't say certain things, it's misinformation. So, obviously, Joe Rogan, a lot of people are trying to come for him in a bad way because he has alternative people on who have backed up with peer-reviewed papers, most published doctors. People are saying it's misinformation, right? So clearly feathers are ruffled, but there's no misinformation. It's just this different information that people don't want to accept. They'll say it's different. There might be some, but it doesn't mean that. So first of all, when we say misinformation, that means the information being given to you by the overlords at the basic blessed networks of Newsweek. So Newsweek is the only information. That's the truest information. There's nothing biased in there. Time Magazine, that's the truest information. CNN, that's the truest information. And then, but Fox News, which is also a big conglomerate, they're considered misinformation. Like, but even though they're just one of the big players too, like why can't they be credible? But so it's already not credible if you're saying that another mainstream player is not credible, right? Like, but we're credible, but you're not credible. So it's just crazy, right? It's crazy for somebody to get on TV or on the radio and think they can blab to me or anyone else and just have us blindly accept it. It's not the world anymore. That it's just, there's too much ways we can gather information. People say, it's all false information, it's all false. No, there's a ton of people that are sharing information. It's a peer-to-peer system, and maybe some of it is rumors, maybe some of it is fake, but there's also truth there. That's it. Like, you can't, you can say whatever you want. I'm just not going to believe it, and there's a ton of people like me that aren't going to believe that. Okay. So you can do whatever you want, but we're not going to believe it. So if we don't believe it, why are you trying so hard to convince us? And then if you're going to shame us, why are you going to shame? It's not going to make us on your side. So do you want us on your side? Do you want us, or do you just want to hate? So there's all this hypocrisy. We all hate hypocrisy, but do we really? And then I really hate it. So Meghan and Harry are trending. And I hate to do this, but I'm at the place in my life where it's like, this is about misinformation, and it's being presented by people that, why are they the arbiters of correct information, right? So Meghan and Harry had a statement on the whole Joe Rogan, Neil Young, Spotify situation. Meghan and Harry. Now, let's just talk about this for a second. Why this is news, I have no idea. Why? I don't know what these people do. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I can tell you what I think they do, but I don't know why they are exalted to a higher plane than someone else. Why is their opinion, it has to be lifted upon, and Twitter makes it trend. So Twitter really is going down the rabbit hole of garbage, because I'm not saying these people are. How can I say this in a nice way? It's just that they're so left-leaning and picking and choosing, and they're not unbiased, right? So Twitter is just very biased. So, Harry and Meghan are, they're supposedly doing the right thing, right? Well, let's just look at their history, right? Like, they come, Harry is a super, super duper royal blood of this earth. Like, he's what they would call blue blood or whatever, but he is like the bloodline of like purity of since the beginning of time, basically, since recorded. I mean, it's as clear and as real, and that he's just the lineage, right? literally royalty. But anyone in England will tell you that the Queen and the Duchess and all that shit, they'll just say it's figureheads. They have a lot of money. They have a lot of land. They don't do anything, and they're figureheads. It's outdated and all this shit, right? And it is. No one gives a shit about the scepter. I mean, some people do, but they're not happy. Like the people that care about the scepter and the jewels and all that shit, they're not happy. They're playing dress up. Like it's just not. They're not really helping the world, right? So I have no beef with any of these people, but like just to let you know, like I don't know Prince Harry at all. He looks like a nice, wonderful young man. But like I remember when I was filming Son of the Mask in Australia, and I had to wait for him to come out of the club with his whole royal posse, and he was drunk and partying, and that's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just letting you know, like, so number one, basically, I'm getting the vibe that you put on the pants are the same. And so, I think he's probably a very strong guy, tough guy, all this stuff. A very regal guy. He also, served military. So I respect that a lot. His wife is, I don't know her at all, but she was an actress on a show called Suits. We all know Suits. She's an actress, She's from LA. And all of a sudden, their opinion is like, whoa, what's this opinion, right? And like, oh, because they sat down with Oprah, right? Well, great. Like, congratulations. Like, we all did. I sat down with Oprah twice. I think 3 times. Why? Just because I did pranks? Like, you're not going to listen to me? Like, I'm been with Oprah, a couple times. Like, are you exalting me or am I just a crazy guy in the corner? Like, come on, stop it. All right? Like, so there you go. If that's your credibility, what? I wasn't born in the Queen of England. I wasn't on Suits. The guy on Suits was my, his character in Ghost Whisperer. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? Like, I'm in the same game, right? So anyone who's like going to discredit me, just look, we're all in the same game. You can look it up. And I'm not saying I'm any more credible, but I'm not saying we should give these people the end all be all because, their clothes are freshly pressed and, hair brushed and stuff. Like, we're all in the same game. We all have our SAG cards. So this is a statement, I think, from them, and it says, attributable, here's what it is, to an Archwell spokesperson, which I don't know. I guess this is maybe someone who speaks for them or their publicist. Since the inception of Archwell, we have worked to address the real-time global misinformation crisis. Hundreds of millions of people are affected by the serious harms of rampant mis- and disinformation every day. Last April, our co-founders, this is Harry and Meghan, the co-founders of this, began expressing concerns to our partners at Spotify about the all too real consequences of COVID-19 misinformation on its platform. We have continued to express our concerns to Spotify to ensure changes to its platform are made to help address this public health crisis. We look forward to Spotify to meet to this moment and are committed to continuing our work together as it does. End of statement. And it says, Reuters says, Harry and Meghan voice concern to Spotify over COVID-19 misinformation. Oh yes, of course. Okay, come on, man. This is a woman who married Prince, a future king of England. She's an actress, just like we all are, actors, actresses. And he's the son of royalty of multi-generations of lineage. Like, what misinformation? They're going to pull their material from Spotify. They remember they didn't go around to making any. That's what someone said. But they're basically hinting a lot of, hey, we're not happy with this information. Okay. Misinformation. Okay. Well, let's just start here. It's the simplest one. No disrespect, Harry, but your Uncle Philip, there's some misinformation surrounding him and Ghislaine Maxwell and Virginia Guthrie. Here's some misinformation. Your Uncle Phil, apparently he doesn't sweat. He can never sweat. There's multiple pictures of him on the internet sweating like an animal, but he can't sweat. So why isn't Twitter going, oh, look, they said misinformation. Look, they're the arbiters of good thing. But look, here's this picture of their sweaty uncle, sweatbox uncle, sweat hog uncle, sweaty uncle with the dead guy, with the dead guy, with the dead guy. Give me a fucking break. Stop. The minute your uncle is fucking Philip, whatever the dude that doesn't sweat, and you're talking about fucking dignity, get out. You're done, bro. You're done. And that's okay. I understand you have to cover asses. But the general population, you cannot believe this shit. This is shit. I'm not even saying by that. Make your money. Do your thing. Do your thing. I get it, bro. Get it. You and your wife also get your money. But stop. This is what's fucking up the world. What's fucking up the world is we've got these figureheads who left the royal family, which is very ballsy. I don't even know what that entails. So hats off to you. That's intense. Stop. Stop trying to stop the flow to ideas that don't agree with. It's so and when you do, we're gonna have to point out your skeletons. Okay? That's what it is. So there's a lot of skeletons within the royal family. What's true? What isn't? I don't know. There's a lot of smoke. So there's gonna be a couple things, right? So the problem is with all this shit is that it's just like, oh, Neil Young, he said some shit, and Joni Mitchell. I mean, all these people, like, they're throwing these huge stones from these very glass houses. It's just that simple. So it's like, I don't know what your problem is. Like, what are you threatened by? Like, make your own decisions. Here's the thing. When people say it's misinformation, let me tell you, it's disrespectful to you if you're a human being. It's like basically you're saying, I can't think for myself. You can go on C-SPAN. You can go on any of these different YouTube and look. You can Google, like, the doctors talking about the spike protein. Actually, what it does, something called PF51 or something. There was a gene that turns off something. It turns on. It's called PF51 or something. It's not correct, but it's something 51. I mean, you can go down the medical rabbit hole and they'll talk to you and kind of dumb it down, and they'll tell you this is a spike protein, this is what it does, this is what the vaccine does, this is what the vaccine doesn't do. And you can look at it, and there's a lot of people that just will say it's not even a vaccine. Like, that's just, there's a ton of people that will say that are credible. But, you know, why people get mad, I don't know, because they fucking took it. I hope to God the vaccine works for everyone. I really do. I'm not trying to come on them. I'm just saying, like, yeah, people are saying, why are you commenting on an American podcast host? It's got nothing to do with you. It's true. It's like, dude, it's got nothing to do with you, bro. Like, it's dumb, man. It's dumb. It's like, why would we listen to them?